Traditional traffic grids operate on clocks. Time-of-day scheduling allocates green lights based entirely on historical averages. When an unexpected event spikes demand, the inflexible sequence fails to clear the intersection, causing vehicle queues that ripple backward into adjacent blocks. We cannot pave our way out of this congestion. Urban footprints are physically capped. Untangling extreme capacity overloads requires the logical, real-time adaptation of the existing street network. The solution is an Intelligent Transportation System, or ITS. This operates as a continuous closed-loop cycle, detecting physical vehicle presence, calculating demand thresholds, and adjusting signal states instantly. The modern intersection operates as an active edge computing environment. It processes localized variables at the street level to actively prevent system-wide collapse. This computational environment relies on 3 distinct layers. At the pavement level, localized sensors capture raw behavioral data, tracking exactly where and how fast vehicles are moving. Just off the curb sits the middle layer, the intersection controllers. These microcomputers execute baseline signal cycles while weighing and managing asynchronous priority overrides from approaching emergency or transit vehicles. Finally, standard network protocols transmit data from these isolated edge nodes back to a central master system, fusing individual intersections into a unified, dynamically responsive smart grid. For decades, controllers relied on inductive loops embedded in the asphalt. These function strictly as binary presence detectors, registering a 1 when a large metallic mass passes over them, and a 0 when it leaves. Maintaining this binary data stream requires cutting trenches directly into the road surface. The physical copper loops degrade rapidly under weather and heavy traffic, averaging a lifespan of 3 to 7 years, requiring destructive lane closures to replace. Modern intersections replace embedded copper with above-ground AI thermal and radar sensors. These devices mount on existing poles and generate continuous multi-lane volumetric tracking, detecting vehicles, cyclists, and pedestrians simultaneously, even in total darkness. This richer data feed allows controllers to differentiate between volume and occupancy. Volume measures the raw number of vehicles passing through. However, volume alone cannot identify traffic jams. A deadlocked phase registers 0 volume, making it statistically indistinguishable from an empty street. This diagram illustrates how the system detects overloads by measuring occupancy, also known as temporal density. This is the exact proportion of time a specific detection zone is physically filled by a vehicle, represented mathematically as a value between 0.00 and 1.00. High occupancy on an advanced detector proves a queue is spilling backward. Accurate, continuous occupancy metrics are the strict mathematical prerequisite for any dynamic system adjustment. Inside the cabinet, the controller balances cyclic timing against immediate asynchronous right-of-way requests. Intersections categorize priorities numerically. Levels 1 through 6 dictate preemption, an absolute right-of-way reserved exclusively for heavy rail crossings and emergency first responders. This timeline demonstrates preemption. When triggered, the controller abandons normal operations, terminating current phases with yellow and all red clearances. It enters a dwell phase, locking the direction on green and dropping network coordination. Finally, an exit phase flushes heavy queues accumulated during the dwell. While preemption secures life-saving immediate access, it induces a localized grid failure. The controller requires a prolonged recovery period, sometimes spanning multiple cycles, to calculate its way back into alignment with the master timing plan. Priorities 7 through 10 operate under a less destructive logic structure, known as transit signal priority, accelerating municipal transit operations without severing network coordination. A transit vehicle does not demand a hard override at every intersection. It utilizes automated vehicle location software to pull its GPS coordinates against its timetable, transmitting a priority request only when it falls behind schedule. This timeline illustrates red truncation. The algorithm terminates a side street phase early, shaving seconds off the red light to serve an approaching bus. Alternatively, it executes a green extension, stretching an active green phase just long enough to let the vehicle clear the intersection. By bending phase splits instead of breaking the sequence, TSP reduces transit delay and improves reliability, while strictly preserving the cyclic stability of the broader corridor. Linking intelligent nodes into a city-wide system was historically blocked by proprietary hardware. A master network from one manufacturer could not decode data packets from a rival vendor's equipment. The National Transportation Communications for ITS Protocol, or NTCIP, was developed to eliminate fragmentation. It acts as an open, standardized vocabulary, ensuring interoperability across all hardware platforms. NTCIP 1211 establishes the exact parameters for signal control and prioritization. It dictates the digital syntax a transit bus uses to request priority and how the intersection's priority request server logs and responds to that data. Because the data structure is uniform, municipalities can route localized edge calculations upward, architecting large-scale star or mesh network topologies without software conflicts. NTCIP serves as the digital infrastructure bridging competing platforms, transforming thousands of isolated signals into a unified, interoperable system. With data flowing freely, central field masters use NTCIP inputs to execute traffic-responsive plan selection. Rather than switching patterns by a clock, the master network selects schedules based on physical realities. This visualizes the core trigger for responsive operation, the V plus KO algorithm. The system sums the volume of traffic with a weighted factor of occupancy. Once that output crosses a predetermined threshold, the master pushes a need timing plan to every signal. Fully adaptive traffic control systems take this algorithmic logic to its maximum limit. Instead of pre-written plans, they calculate micro-adjustments to cycle lengths, splits, and offsets second by second. We see this deployed in operations like the SPaT's adaptive networks, currently managing 89 distinct intersections across Toronto. The system analyzes real-time detector inputs and continuously outputs optimized timing phases for massive arterial grids. At the highest level of network topology, human assumptions and static schedules are entirely replaced by continuous mathematical optimization. The modern traffic grid relies on precise execution at every tier. At the base layer, above-ground AI sensors stream continuous, highly accurate volume and occupancy metrics. At the logic layer, local intersection controllers instantly weigh those metrics against NTCIP 1211 priority requests, seamlessly accelerating transit or halting sequences for emergency vehicles. And at the macro layer, central servers process the incoming V plus KO mathematics to continually alter the state of the entire grid. By treating intersections as edge computing nodes rather than static timers, engineers create a resilient, adaptive network capable of untangling the extreme complexities of urban mobility in real time.